Let's say that you have your Commander homepage set up exactly the way you want it. You've got links to all your important places, both in and outside of Commander, and you've got your job configuration set up to launch your jobs at the push of a button. Adding one or two links to your setup isn't a big deal, but suppose you want to replicate all of your settings in another user's account. Or worse, suppose you decide you want to share your settings with an entire team. Manually recreating a set of links of any substantial size would take forever. So what do? First, you need to know that these homepage settings are stored as properties under your username. If you pull up your user object in the web UI and browse to the user settings property sheet, you'll see the two property sheets we're interested in, job configurations and shortcuts. Under each property sheet is a set of further property sheets describing the links. What will be nice is to be able to use EasyTool's clone method to copy one user's job configurations or shortcuts property sheet over to another user's, but unfortunately it won't work. Clone won't overwrite properties that already exist, and even if the target user doesn't have any job configs or shortcuts defined, those property sheets are present already. The other problem is that we really don't want to erase any settings the target user may already have defined. We want to add to their homepage and not replace it. This means we have to clone each of the individual entries under these property sheets for every user we want to update. So what we do is create a short script to clone each job config or shortcut individually for a given set of users. I created a working example as a command or procedure. Let's take a look. First, note that I have three parameters: from user, to users, and user settings to copy. From user is a simple text field where you enter a single username from which all the settings will be copied. To users is a text area field that allows you to enter a new line separated list of usernames to which you would like to copy the settings. And user setting to copy is a radius selection that allows you to choose the setting to copy. Now let's look at the procedure itself. Taking a look at the procedure, we see that we have our standard EasyPerl heading for a job step command. We instantiate a commander object, and we store the parameters we've passed in. Then we execute a getProperties request for the particular setting we're interested in, and use the getSettingNames subprocedure to collect the names of the property sheets that define each of the custom settings. Finally, for each target user, we iterate over the list of settings and clone each one from the source user to the target user. The call to clone itself is enclosed in an eval block because even if the clone operation fails for some reason, we want to keep going and not end up in some odd state in which half the target users don't have the settings applied because the step failed on one operation. Instead, we record which transaction failed in the log and use postp to display the number of failed transactions in the job step summary. Then you can go back later and resolve any issues individually. If we run the procedure entering admin as the from user, the set of 20 users we created as the to users, and choose shortcuts as the setting to copy, we see that the procedure executes, and if we log in as one of these new users, they will have the same set of shortcuts as admin. If you'd like to use this procedure or modify it for some other purpose, I've converted this project into a plugin and have the jar available for download. Simply import and promote the plugin jar file, and a project named SBK Utilities will be created that contains this procedure.